to your hosts, Don Getling and Gino Franti.
Last quarter, and the most important quarter, actually, because usually we try to save all of our tidbits for the really, really, really juicy end, so to speak, because it's we won't be here again for another week, from every Thursday from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Next week I'll be joined by Don Getling again. Not that you're doing a bad job, Dan.
I'm out, huh?
You're out. You're out. Unless we have a Dodger game. When we have a Dodger game on, it is so great to have Dan in the studio. He's giving us the play-by-play. I mean, it's really a treat.
I love doing it.
No, love having you here, Dan.
Unfortunately, I have DirecTV, so I can't even watch the Dodgers right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny, this whole TV battle thing, it's almost like a scam because you end up having to have both if you really want to watch everything, right?
I don't know. I'm depressed. I cry myself to sleep almost every night.
Do you have this thing called the radio?
I know.
AM radio, like what we're on right now, that you could still utilize to listen to a game?
Yes, but I guess I'm lazy.
And I'm sure you could probably listen on the internet, and I'm sure there's so much you can do on the internet. You're just lazy.
It's just not the same.
So actually, let's talk about the internet for a minute, and we're joined today by Tamar House with Team House Real Estate, and we've been talking about different ways to market your properties that she has available that aren't on the market. And right now I want to go into the internet because, as you may or may not know, Tamar is very involved with her social media, always posting something. I can pretty much any afternoon or morning, I know where she's at, so if I want to track her down, I know where she's at.
I try not to post till I leave the place, just in case, because I've had some stalkers.
I see. I didn't mean I was a stalker. But no.
He's the one.
Yeah.
Shh, it was me. No, but it's, the reality is that today it's almost imperative. You have to sell, if you're in real estate today, and you have not adopted the new marketing methodology of being on the internet in some way, some shape, some form, I don't think you could be successful for your buyers and sellers. So tell us what you're doing online to help your buyers and sellers succeed.
Everything I can, actually. Zillow and Trulia are two of the top leading websites for people that are looking to buy a house or even look for a listing agent. They look there first, and I think the average is about 17 looks online before they pick an agent or actually go to call somebody to purchase something. So
it's funny that over all the years, and that number's never changed.
HBM?
Yeah. It's been 16 years, or probably now 18 years, since Home Buyers Marketing or the Home Buyer Scouting Report's been in existence. And they did this research. Remember ERA Real Estate?
Uh-huh.
So Steve Polston, the owner of ERA, and that was like Electronic Registration Agency or something like that.
Right.
What he did was he ran a survey, and he did open houses and collected all this data, and he had it analyzed and everything. And he found that most people met with 17 agents before they chose one. So it's amazing that human nature hasn't changed.
Right.
Just the way we interact has changed. And what's happened is now that 17 agents is so much easier to deal with if you're dealing with them online, which means the education phase is shorter. So instead of spending a year thinking about buying a house, you can do it in a much shorter time span now.
Right. But they're typically not looking at 17 agents. They're looking at 17 different listings. And then if whoever pops up with those particular listings, that's kind of who they go with. So it's reverse psychology. It's kind of, this is a cool house. They must have a great agent. So it's kind of different in that aspect. But as an agent, you have to make sure that you're one of the top agents on these websites, and you have to make sure all of your past sales and your whole profile is filled out completely so that people are aware that you're an experienced, educated agent that uses social media. Yeah,
in fact, one of the things that we're doing with America's Professional Resource Group, and I know you've heard me mention this in the past, is reputation management is a big thing now online. It's important. We had somebody recently say, and I can't remember who it was, that was, actually, you know who it was? It was Casey Kirkman, said that things happen wrong in business for every company, right? Whether you're a bakery, a restaurant, a moving company, a real estate agent, or lender, whatever it is, the reality is things happen.
Right.
And it's not if those things happen or not, because they'll happen no matter where you go. It's how you treat it when they happen. And I think that's what ultimately happens, how you step up when something goes wrong.
Right.
And sometimes those things are outside of our control, we've seen a lot of property issues come up recently. A lot of now with newfound inventory coming to the market, we have properties that haven't been on the market for 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, illegal conversions, roof leaks, lots
termites.
of termites,
Yeah.
lots of different stuff happening with properties. And when you originally walk into the property, it looks fine, but as you get through inspections and things of that nature, you start to find some deficiencies. So that's when you really need a pro in your corner to make sure that you're getting the support you need. So you've been seeing some issues with property as well?
Absolutely. I've got a property they've been in there 25 years, and surprise, surprise, there's quite a bit of things that need to happen before we can sell this home. So, yeah, it's about being educated and having that great team. I've got a great team of experts that can help my clients from termites to, fixing a leaky faucet. So.
Is that a tough conversation? Sometimes is it an easy thing to tell a person that loves their house very much. By the way, you got a lot
it's
of
always
things wrong.
difficult, if you wait. But with my team, we always kind of, talk to them about everything up front. This is what might happen. This is what we might foresee. This is what could happen. This is what we expect of you to pay. So that way there's no surprises.
So they're prepped.
Absolutely.
Well, isn't that funny that every time, it's funny that life is not so much about what happens, it's about what you expect to happen.
Right.
So expectations being set appropriately is probably the number one thing. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I get a contract and I'm like, okay, this thing says it's 14-day contingency, but there's only 3 days left on it. Where has this thing been for the last 11 days? And that's not from Team House, but just from random.
Right.
And it's because things happened. It's because they thought they were going to fall out, but all of a sudden they got an offer on their house, and all of a sudden it worked. I mean, there's reasons those things happen, but it's how we deal with those difficulties when they come up. And I know that you and your team deal with those difficulties on a day-to-day basis, and obviously very successful. Otherwise, you wouldn't be closing as many transactions as you were doing. So kudos to that. Now, you mentioned something, you kind of grazed it, so I'm going to dig in a little further. You mentioned having great reviews and making sure that you appear on these websites as much as possible. So how do you make yourself appear on those? How do you make sure that you're marketing and kind of making sure you're in front of people?
You pay for it.
So it's
simple. Well, I mean, I'm a premier agent for Zillow, so I actually do pay a monthly fee for that. So I am one of the top agents in Valencia for that. As far as Trulia goes, I just have to have my profile 100% complete, and then you have to have all of your recent solds and testimonials on there. The more testimonials you have, the higher up you are on the search engine for Trulia.
Okay, I like that. And by the way, that was a loaded question because it's okay to pay for marketing.
Absolutely.
Just so you know, I mean, ultimately, it's the same as, remember that book? What was it called? Real Estate Book. And what was the other one? Homes and Land.
Oh, right.
It's like prehistoric now, right? But that was
no print ads for me.
Well, basically, today, Zillow, Trulia, all of these websites are the new print ads.
Absolutely.
I mean, I accidentally picked up a newspaper the other day. I swear my kids will not know what a newspaper is.
No.
And my grandkids definitely not for sure. My
No.
kids will probably say, yeah, I think I saw one of those things sitting in the driveway once.
Right.
But, that information's old.
Right.
Right? Anything in a newspaper is old.
Old news.
Yeah.
Right.
Anything in a print ad is old. It's all old. So it's important that you're absolutely up to date. In fact, if you want to stay up to date, I recommend you join our Facebook page. So go to donandgino.com. Click on the Facebook logo. That's how you can talk to us every single day instead of only on Thursdays from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Love our Facebook page. Actually, like our Facebook page. Right? Shouldn't they change that from like to love?
I think there should be a dislike, a like, and a love button.
Right?
You
Hey,
should have
Mark
options.
Zuckerberg, are you listening?
Speaking of Facebook, that's just an incredible tool. It's free, and with one of my listings last week, I listed a property in Acton. One of my friends on Facebook saw just one picture of it that I posted as I listed it, and the next day he was out looking at the property, and we had it leased out that night.
Nice.
Just from Facebook.
And that's Acton, which is not an easy market to market, so to speak, to get out there.
But people are looking.
See, and that's the thing too, is, and I know you have thousands of Facebook friends, and I have thousands of Facebook friends, and if I comment on one of your listings, that means 2,000 people saw it, and then if Dan comments on it, that means 2,001 people saw it.
Which is why
I'm just making sure you were awake over there, bud.
Which is why I think that more people need to do stuff like that. I think, more lenders should comment on my thing. If they see one of my listings, they should say, here's what your payment might be if you put this much down and your credit was in this range, or, use my listings to help you. I mean, we're all in this together, and we should definitely take advantage of helping each other grow and, using that to market ourselves on each other's pages.
Yeah, I'm going to do that, okay?
You're going to do that? Yeah. That's fine. Go ahead.
Do it.
Ultimately, that's a great advice from Tamar House with Team House Real Estate, is that we're all in this together. Real estate agents, lenders, escrow, title. Most of us are working together towards a common goal to get people into homes. Even though you're helping people rent, the ultimate goal is to help them out of renting and into homes. And there'll be new renters coming out of high school.
2007.
and it's that cycle. And I think that what's interesting now is, have you been, and I'm going to throw out a quick question, and then we're almost out of time. I want you to pitch one more listing. Any activity in the senior areas in Belcaro, or is that very busy right now?
Oh, yeah. It's just as busy, yeah.
Okay. Just wondering, because I know that we're seeing a lot of people move up. So
we need a developer to do another Belcaro type area. So if anybody's listening,
really, is it that?
It's in demand. Wow. Absolutely.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today, Tamar. And what's the best way to get a hold of you one more time?
855-HOUSE-05.
Dan, thank you for joining me today and filling in for Don.
Always a pleasure.
And let's try to get you 2 friends on Facebook next week.
I got a lot of requests out, but no one's clicking accept.
So please
I'll help you.
Please accept Dan's request for Facebook. Thank you for joining us on the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show. Always a good time. See you next week, Thursday from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. on your hometown station, AM 1220, KHTS.